3 new bills for SSI, Supplemental Security Income. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video we're specifically talking about SSI, Supplemental Security Income, and 3 new bills that are currently in Congress to reform the program in a major way, and I do actually think that these are some major changes and are actually some good changes that would be welcomed for a lot of beneficiaries. Let's get into it and buzz through all the details of these 3 new bills that are currently in Congress. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side every single day, watching the latest details hitting the wire and breaking it all down into these short videos, including all the new bills, packages, and proposals, or anything being announced by lawmakers, Congress, the administration, anybody like this. Of course, I want to bring it to your attention right away because we do know that these programs will be changed at some point, and the changes will be significant. Either way, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and talk about the 3 pieces of legislation currently in Congress right now to reform SSI, and it's about time because this program has been around for over 51 years, and it has not been reformed in any major way in all of that time. So therefore, it probably needs some major reform, and as of right now, Congress has some legislation out there. Can they actually get it passed through? That's the next big question. But either way, we want to continue watching all of this very closely. So there's actually a lot of legislation out there in regards to SSI, Supplemental Security Income. But in this video, I want to talk about 3 standalone bills that are out there as well, which encompass some pretty good changes to this program. Now again, could any of these change and could any of these pass? Yes, any one of them could pass through. Could all of them just be sidelined and just set aside and say, well, we'll get to them some other day? Yep, that could also be an option too, okay? So remember, just because they're in Congress does not necessarily mean that they're going to pass right now, or if they do, they may undergo some actual changes to the legislation, some amendments, like what we usually see with these bills, packages, and proposals as they work their way through the legislative process, right? So I want to make that very clear what's going on here. All right, so let's buzz through the details of each of these one at a time. I'll explain them, and then, of course, we can talk through further details. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, always for sure to leave it down below in the comment section. And again, I can always make dedicated videos. All right, so first off, I'm not going to bring these in any particular order, but I will talk about the one that most people want to know about first, and then we can talk through the other 2. And realistically, they're all really good, but again, some are better than others, as always, just like with everything. But I'll start with the one that everybody wants to hear first because, realistically, that's kind of like the most exciting one, right? All right, so the legislation out there talks about raising the SSI benefit, as in the maximum benefit, up to the federal poverty line, okay? Now, we've talked about details of this before, especially with the SSI Restoration Act. That is all encompassed within there as well, okay? But let me talk you through the details about this because this is a standalone piece of legislation where they want to reform SSI and just raise these benefits up to the federal poverty line. Because remember this much. What was this program designed to do when it was started back in 1972? The whole purpose behind the SSI program was to lift older adults age 65 and older with limited income and limited resources, and those individuals who are blind or have a disability under the age of 65, at least making sure that these people have a financial, kind of financial foundation, financial stability, and that they're not reliant on friends and family, and that they're above the federal poverty line. Well, guess what? Over the last, 51 years, unfortunately, this program has pushed a lot of people into poverty simply because it has not kept up. And as a result of that, this is where we currently are today, right? So basically the provision is to raise the SSI benefits up to the federal poverty line. Now, as of right now in 2023, as I record this video, there's a lot of different things going on, but we know that we are rapidly approaching 2024. The federal poverty line as of right now is $14,580 this year in 2023. However, as we approach 2024, it's not that far away. We're very, very close here. But once we get into 2024, the federal poverty line will be adjusting higher, probably by about 5 to 5.5% thereabout in 2024, okay? So it will be adjusting higher by, a pretty significant margin yet again, okay? Well over $15,000 in 2024, okay? So either way, this is one thing that they want to do, which, by the way, as of right now, if they were to implement this, this would lock in benefits a little over $1,200 a month is where the federal poverty line is, okay? So that's pretty good stuff right there on a monthly basis for SSI, considering where we're currently sitting right now at $914 a month. It'd be an increase of over $300 a month for beneficiaries. That's pretty significant, right? So that's pretty cool right there. That is an awesome provision right there, and one thing that they want to do for the SSI program and the roughly 8 million beneficiaries, okay? So that's number one. Next, let's talk about the other one, which is another major discrepancy with this program, an original provision that was brought in, 50 plus years ago when this program actually started, but something that is significantly out of date right now. This is the marriage penalty. Now, I completely understand this does not apply to everybody. However, this is a major provision out there that is still in play, and a lot of people, including many lawmakers, are suggesting this is out of date. We've got to get this out of here. It's impacting and it's hurting a lot of SSI beneficiaries. Now, let me talk you through the details really quickly. Like I said a minute ago, as you all know, right, obviously, the maximum benefit right now in 2023 is $914 a month for an individual. However, check this out. As a married couple, the maximum benefit is $1,371. That's a difference of $457 a month is what that comes up to be, okay? So essentially what that means is married couples are being penalized by $457 a month because of being married. Does that make any sense? Not really, right? So the point is, the whole reason to remove the marriage penalty would, again, obviously get people more money who are, receiving SSI and who are married as well, okay? So this is a major one out there. We've seen this one around for a while now, and a lot of lawmakers are very much in support of this to raise the benefits up to the federal poverty line, as well as removing this marriage penalty, which is significantly out of date, right? So that is another one as well. That would impact a lot of people, and that would be pretty awesome stuff. It would translate into higher benefits, no more penalties for being married. I mean, seriously, that seems kind of weird, right? So anyway, that's another one that's out there. Now, next is another one to raise the asset levels or possession limits of cash and cash equivalents, okay? Let me talk you through the details about this, because this is another one that's very important. Now, as of right now, as the rules are currently sitting, you can have up to $2,000 in cash equivalents as an SSI beneficiary who is an individual, okay? $2,000. Okay, let's come back to that here in a second, okay? Now, as a married couple, you can have $3,000 of cash or cash equivalents as an SSI beneficiary, as a married couple. Now, let me ask you, is $2,000 a lot of money these days? And again, I don't want to discount $2,000. $2,000 is great. We all enjoy $2,000, right? We would all be very happy with that. But is that a lot of money these days? If you're driving your car and the car breaks down or something like that, that $2,000 is going to be gone super fast, right? That $2,000 goes super fast. If your refrigerator breaks down, or an air conditioning unit, or a major home repair, it's not even a major home repair, a home repair, that $2,000 would be gone very fast, right? This one would, this is a major one as well. So again, this one does not directly relate to getting more money, but rather having the ability to save and stash away more money without penalty or potential garnishment or elimination of your benefit. So this would be a very good one as well. Even though it doesn't directly translate into higher benefits, it does translate into having a little bit more money for a rainy day fund, or a little bit of a savings set aside in the event things happen. Then this is something that would come into play, okay? So what they want to do is they want to raise the asset levels or the possession of cash equivalents from $2,000 as an individual up to $10,000, and from $3,000 as a married couple up to $20,000. That would be some more significant. Now, does it mean that we'd have to tap that out? No, it just simply means that you could have up to those limits without any penalty, without any garnishment, without any potential risk of elimination of your benefit, if that kind of makes sense, right? Because right now, if you have over those limits, well, then they're coming for your benefit, right? It's not a good situation, okay? So anyway, doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have to, stash up $10,000 as an individual or $20,000 as a married couple and have it sitting aside. It just simply means that you could have up to that amount and not have any penalty on that, okay? So, yeah, that'd be kind of a good one as well, which, by the way, the name of this legislation is the Savings Penalty Elimination Act. So, that's what it is. So if you want to look it up, by all means, go for it. But anyway, this is all out there. And remember, all of these as well are also encompassed within the SSI Restoration Act. So why they have these all as standalone bills, and they have the SSI Restoration Act right there as well. They could just pass one piece of legislation, get all of this done, as well as multiple other provisions within it. Because remember, the SSI Restoration Act has all of this within it as well, plus more. but at the same time, they have these all as standalone bills. So it's kind of nice to see this as standalone bills, because here's the thing. Even if there were provisions within the SSI Restoration Act that some lawmakers say, I'm not on board with that, or I don't want to do that, or whatever, that's fine. That's why they have the standalone bill. They can get this all through with just the single piece of legislation that are out there, right? So it's kind of nice that they have it all packaged together as one neat little bill, and then they have it all together as individuals as well. So it's like, well, let's just pick this one out and pass this as well. So that's what it comes down to. When it comes down to raising benefits up to the federal poverty line, I just want to say this much as well. Even though it'd be super nice if they do it right here, right now, realistically, we're kind of running out of time this year, right? Now, don't get me wrong. They could get it done if they just so wanted to do so. Unfortunately, it looks like Congress has other priorities on their plate, like leaving town. It seems like that's all they ever want to do is go on vacation, right? So they have other priorities that they're working on, and it seems like that has, precedence over these other piece of legislation that are out there. So this is something that certainly could get done. But I want to throw this out there really quickly as well. Each year that they don't do this and the federal poverty line continues to increase, that simply means we're like essentially building in a raise to monthly benefits when they actually raise it up to the federal poverty line, if that makes sense, right? So each year, don't get me wrong, to wait another year would be like, oh, wow, that'd be a long time. But again, the 2024 is not that far away, right? We're going to be there before we know it, and that is when the federal poverty line also adjusts higher. So my point is, even if they waited until the new calendar year, we just kind of locked in a little bit more of a raise. Does that kind of make sense? So the federal poverty line goes up, and then this provision also raising the benefits up to the federal poverty line also increases, if that kind of makes sense, right? Anyway, hope that makes sense for you. But again, these are the pieces of legislation that are out there right now. Of course, I'll continue to watch these very closely, just like everything else going on right now. I will continue to watch all of this very closely and bring you other details as they're hitting the wire, as lawmakers are talking about it, as they're introducing more piece of legislation. Anything like this, of course, I'll bring it to your attention right away. Or if they start working on these and they make any adjustments or amendments to it, of course, I want to bring that to your attention. There's a lot of things going on right now. Like I've been saying for a while now, it's usually a very busy time of year right now, okay? So anyway, hope this one helps you. Again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. If I need to come back and elaborate on any of this any further, of course, I can obviously do that. So just want to do what I can to help you and to keep you informed of what's going on and just to be here to answer questions and just to help you through this time. I know it's a confusing and weird one that we're living through, right? So anyway, enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one, and catch you again later.